Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Godforsaken, and this is a new horror film from writer-director Akbar Kamal, and this focuses on a young man named Chad who brings his two friends, and they're acting as a small documentarian crew, back to his hometown after a crazy happening at a funeral for a young woman happens who, the casket flips, arm comes out, she's not dead, and, well, something comes out of that casket looking like this young woman, and then the investigation follows from there, going through the rest of this film, and this is a found footage kind of film, using all the handheld cam and everything. There's definitely some drawbacks to that. There's certain moments of not making a whole lot of logic, of like, it's like, why are you going back to pick up the camera? Or why are you still filming camera when stuff like this is happening? But if you could suspend your disbelief past that point, there are some other drawbacks in terms of the cameras. It's really hard to see some of the times when it's just going like shaky cam all over. And also, the lighting is really tough to see quite a few things, especially in the third act of this film, when it becomes nighttime and you're trying to process what the hell's going on the screen. It's very dark. The lighting isn't done very well. And this is a micro-budgeted film. This is a small film. But some of the camera work looks really good. The opening sequence at the funeral is so well constructed, so well made and intense, and you're just like, okay, I like where this is going. The film has different twists and turns, trying to have a shroud of mystery over the real intentions of this being, and if this is God or this is evil, and how that's playing up, and what it does to the townfolk in this small town. The second act is actually pretty intriguing and interesting and shocking. When it gets to the third act, though, it just kind of becomes the same perpetual, like, run away, run away. And it's just the same thing over and over and over again for like a good 25, 30 minutes of the film. And it just gets repetitive and exhausting after a while. And you're also sitting there like, how the hell are they getting away from all of them? Because, they get ambushed, 15 times. They're, getting ambushed every minute or two. And it's just like, how'd they get away from that? How did they get away from that? And the longer this movie goes on, the longer you have to suspend your disbelief, the longer that it kind of putters out for me. And it makes me sad because I was really digging this film for a good portion of it. It just, the third act of it kind of throws it away. And some of the dialogue's a little stiff. Some of the acting's a little stiff. You can tell, these are amateur actors. Some of them are better than others. But you have this setup and these ideas. And, it really tackles that, small town hysteria of, getting behind, everybody believes in this thing. And nobody's going to tell anybody any different. And it works so well for two acts of this film for the most part. There's a couple moments in the first two acts. So it's I appreciated their connection as friends, these three people at the center of the film. There are a couple moments where it's did we really need that scene? But in general, I think this is and this is only an hour and 15 minutes. So it's brisk. It can get exhausting in the third act. But if you're really about that thrill ride, you're going to get a lot out of this film. But for me, it just kind of lost some of its potential that it had and what it built up in the first two acts. Kind of threw it away in the third act for just a bunch of craziness that just feels unrelenting and endless. And by the end, you're just like, oh, well, that's how it's going to end. That's not a surprise. And you're just kind of like, well, move on. But, in the end, I think there's decent amount of work that went into this, and Akbar Kamal did a really nice job putting this film together for the most part. But those are my thoughts on Godforsaken. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.